Xiaomi's imaging flagship, the 17 Ultra's continuous optical zoom periscope telephoto versus the Huawei P80 Ultra's single lens dual eye telephoto. What's the difference? Which is better? You'll know after this teardown.
Big mouth became small.
I still like the big one.
The Xiaomi 17 Mi Ultra just went on sale today. I spent $7,099 to buy a 16GB RAM, 512GB storage model to review and tear down for you all. The one I picked is a starry green color. It looks more like a dark green. I shined a light on it to see the effect, and from certain angles, it truly has these sparkling highlights. This generation's camera lens has also become an axially symmetric design, like a butterfly resting on the module. Compared to the 15 Ultra, it looks much neater. The reason it's so neat is mainly because the 17 Ultra has one less lens than the 15 Ultra. The reason for one less lens is today's focus, the continuous optical zoom periscope telephoto. Oh, the 17 Charge, as I said, 17 Ultra side buttons have also become prototype plus-minus keys, a tribute to Leica. They actually look quite refined. Then some smart Alec will say, isn't this a tribute to their iPhone 4S? Oh indeed, after comparing them, their sizes are even identical. But here's the thing guys, the iPhone 4S actually also paid tribute to Leica's camera design. Alright, let's not worry about that. We'll just power it on first. Nothing else is important right now. We need to test out its continuous optical zoom effect. Hey, let's shoot this Spider-Man. You can see on the interface, its continuous optical zoom range is indicated by a frosted glass effect. It can continuously zoom between 75 and 100mm, which is between 3.2 and 4.3 times magnification. Alright, let's actually take a look at the comparison of its continuous optical zoom from max to min. This is 3.x, and this is 4.x, 3.2, 4.3, and coincidentally, I also have a Huawei Pura 80 Ultra on hand, so let's check out the effect of Huawei's dual lens system. Huawei's zoom only has two settings, one is 3.7x, and the other is 9.4x. The footage between 3.7x and 9.4x zoom is all achieved through digital cropping. Pause. When you slowly adjust the zoom, you can still see traces of lens switching in the image. Pause. In contrast, Xiaomi's zoom shows absolutely no signs of switching. Pause. After all, Xiaomi's is a physical zoom. Pause. And its advantage is clear. Pause. Now, let's compare Huawei's maximum and minimum frames. Pause. This one probably has some cropping. Pause. It's cropped directly from 9.4R to 10x. Pause. Just take a general look. This is 3.7 10 times. 3.7 10 times. Alright, that's it for the exterior and features. So what about the internal structure of this 17 Ultra? Are the materials used generous? Let's just get right to the teardown. First, use a disassembly tool to suction open its back cover, then use a spudger to pry open along the edges. Even though it's rated IP69, this back cover is still relatively easy to remove. This generation's Ultra back cover uses a fiberglass material, and Xiaomi's back covers this year have basically all switched to fiberglass. The advantage is that it's very light and drop-proof, but putting other things aside, the size of this periscope telephoto lens looks truly massive. Alright, Jayla. Alright guys, let's give this internal structure a rating first. From 1 to 91, how many points would you give it? Xiaomi's internal design is quite clean and simple, so let's first remove this motherboard cover and see what's inside. Once the motherboard cover is removed, we discover that its top speaker is directly integrated onto the cover itself. The model is a Ruixing Technology 1014E specification, which is the same as the Xiaomi 17 Pro. And on the mainboard cover, it also integrates a flash, an ambient light sensor, a rear microphone, and a laser autofocus module. Below this strip is its NFC coil. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra's NFC coil is positioned a bit lower, so you'll need to pay attention when swiping cards. This time, the wireless charging power is 50 watts, which is slightly lower than the previous 15 Ultra's 80 watts. But the wireless reverse charging power has been upgraded to 20 watts, quite a bit higher than the previous 5 watts. Okay, let's first remove the camera module. First, the main camera uses a domestic 1-inch Lighthunter 1050L sensor, and its size is truly massive. Also, compared to the previous LVT900, it has an advantage. It supports lo-fi technology. Simply put, previously when shooting in bright areas, the capacitor couldn't hold the charge, causing overexposure. Lo-fi technology is like adding a small cup next to the capacitor to hold the overflowing charge, which greatly increases the photo's dynamic range. Next, let's look at the ultra-wide angle. Just like the previous generation, it uses Samsung's JN5. The front camera has been upgraded from the last generation. The sensor size improved from 1/3.14 inches to 12.88 inches. And then, the highlight this time, continuous optical zoom periscope telephoto. Its sensor changed from the previous generation 15 Ultra's Samsung HPT 62 to HP1. But looking at the specs, both are 200 megapixels and both have a 1.4-inch sensor. The main difference, however, is that the 17 Ultra supports continuous optical zoom. Now let's disassemble this periscope telephoto lens and see what its internal structure looks like. To show you all how it works once it's powered on, this time I need to disassemble the casing without damaging its internal structure. Oh, this is quite a challenge. Okay, after a tremendous amount of effort, I've finally managed to take it apart. Let's compare its size to the Pura 80 Ultra's dual camera. Both sides look quite prominent. Huawei's is relatively longer, shook it, and both shutters are damn loud. But the loudness means a long optical path, and that's a good thing. Alright, let's look at the principle. Xiaomi's continuous optical zoom periscope is mainly divided into 4 parts. The first on the left is its right-angle reflective prism. You can see this prism supports significant movement along both X and Y axis. Its main function is image stabilization. The sensor is vertically positioned on the right. This sensor itself has no built-in stabilization, relying entirely on the prism on the left. The second part is the front focus group. I tried it and it cannot slide. Then the third part is this main slider, which contains 2 lens groups, and this slider goes all the way from start to finish. It offers 75 to 100 mm optical zoom. And if you look closely inside the large sliding rail, there's a smaller one. It constantly compensates for focus based on the movement of the large rail, ensuring the focal point always lands on the sensor. This lens assembly truly seems to be full of technological aesthetics. As for why Xiaomi didn't implement a wide-range zoom like Sony's from 3.5 to 7.1x, mainly because continuous optical zoom is limited by the phone's size. The sensor size and zoom range of the lens are inversely proportional. Sony's scope is indeed quite broad, but its sensor is pathetically small. In slightly dimmer light, the quality just turns to crap. So Xiaomi's is a premium solution, a result of careful trade-offs. So Huawei 有的新的意义都无啥. Huawei's one-lens dual-lidar system and Xiaomi's approach are actually quite opposite. With Huawei's lens assembly, the movable component is the first prism I just mentioned, while the entire rear lens group remains completely fixed. Okay, let's now take a moment to appreciate this one-lens dual-eye technology and Xiaomi's continuous optical zoom. Oh, it really looks fantastic. I just love this feeling of diverse ideas converging. So now, let's remove the motherboard. I must praise the Xiaomi 17 Ultra's coaxial cable here. It's now a flat ribbon cable. This design means they don't need to carve a slot in the frame. You can see that regular phones need a slot in the mid-frame for their coaxial cable, but with Xiaomi's design, there's no slot. The frame is a solid piece, which means its body strength will be much higher. After removing the motherboard, you'll notice a very large cutout in the center, which is for the camera module. Unsurprisingly, from the side, you can also see the motherboard uses a dual-layer stack design with the processor located in the board's bottom right corner. The Xiaomi 17 the Xiaomi 17 Ultra uses the 5th Gen Snapdragon 8 Ultimate plus LPDDR5X and a top-tier UFS 4.1 configuration. That's a given. Upon closer inspection, you can see that other cable interfaces are not protected with rubber pads, but only this one is. So why is that? Because on the flex cable connector of this battery, there's a G2 battery management chip, and we've seen this design approach before on Huawei's triple fold phones. This design is mainly to separate the battery protection board from the battery protection chip. Once separated, the thickness of the battery protection board area can be reduced, freeing up more space for the battery. With this design, Xiaomi directly freed up 110 mAh this time, and the effect is quite significant. Okay, now let's disassemble the final charging port section. The charging port's small board is now removed. This charging port supports USB 3.2 Gen 2 transfer speeds. The bottom speaker, when taken out, is a Gore-Tex Acoustics 1115X model, the very same as in the Xiaomi 17 Pro. Next, we remove the motor. This one uses an AAC Technologies 0809E, although it's a 08. The 0809 has the same width and length, but its thickness has been increased to 4.3mm, so its vibration is stronger than the previous 0809. Next, we'll remove the battery. It features a quick-release design. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra this time employs a 6800 mAh Jinshaxiang battery. The overall design incorporates a single cell with a dual interface. Its manufacturer is Dongguan Nengdu Technology Co. Ltd. The cell's dimensions are mainly 5.8mm thick, 70mm long, and 72mm wide. Those looking to upgrade the cell can refer to these specifications. Okay, so this is the internal teardown of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. Let's reassemble the phone. The continuous optical zoom on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra is truly stunning. It really shows Xiaomi's innovation. If your budget isn't that high, but you still want similar imaging quality, you can also check out the previous generation's Xiaomi 15 Ultra. Even without continuous optical zoom, it has an upright telephoto lens. Its focal length is quite similar to the 17 Ultra, plus the price is very cheap. I checked, the Xiaomi 15 Ultra's official used price is only $3,200, which is more than half cheaper than the $6,499 it cost when new. And every single phone has undergone multiple rounds of official quality inspection, so the quality is guaranteed. Alright, the rings are almost done. Let me show you guys this continuous color shift. Love it.